Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sarra show. Today I'm recording out of Miami with the incredible Naima Mustafa. Naima, hello.
Hi, Sarah.
How are you?
Good, good. Thank you very much for having me here.
I'm so happy to have you. I can feel the incredible energy in the room already, the same way I felt it when I walked by your office a few days ago, where we met for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You have such an amazing, beautiful story to share with us today. You were a lawyer, and today you sell an experience,
Mm-hmm. Correct.
through sense and sound. And I was so inspired by what you shared, as someone who's been through a journey and was in the corporate world and shifted and went through something and got sick and shifted and came out the other side. I could so much connect and relate to you. And I love what you created out of that experience.
Thank you.
So your journey, at least this part of your journey, began in 2018, 2019?
In 2019.
Okay.
It was in 2019 where actually, yes, I spent over 20 years in the corporate world. I'm an attorney. And because of the stress and the daily routine, I got sick. It was very, very, very big. And I went to the hospital. So I had to make a decision. I said, well, I need to slow down. So I started to develop scents as a hobby.
No,
Okay.
but wait. You skipped through the you skipped through the part where you got really sick. And
Do I have to tell that?
no, you don't have to, but I think it's such an incredible part of the journey.
Okay.
Where because it was very impactful, right? What you went through and what you experienced and how you decided I need something else to heal and come on the other side,
You see how froggy I am. Like, I want to run.
So
Okay.
just a little background. So when Naima and I met a few days ago, right? We had this amazing, incredible chat, right? We talked about the podcast, we talked about her journey and everything, and then Naima shared with me, I'm Naima the frog.
Yes, I am.
The frog meaning?
There is this frog that when you're filming it, he's like, brook, brook. He doesn't talk. But when the camera is not on, oh my God, he's like this incredible, singing and and so extroverted. So that's me. Sometimes when the camera is not on, I'm like free. I feel free. But for some reason, I don't know why. It's, I just need to get used to it and forget about the camera. But no, well, yes. I was telling you the other day that in 2019 was a year of, it was very hard for me because the only thing I knew in my life since I was 16 years old, it was the corporate world. Okay. I come from a family that they're attorneys, my parents, my brother, my sister, everyone. And I didn't know anything else. So I worked since I was at the university until I got 49 years old in 2019. So because of my life, the stress and all this, I got a bleeding ulcer. I didn't have any symptom. So one day I just woke up in the middle of the night feeling very bad. And because of the pain and of course the internal bleeding, and I passed out.
Mm.
I was by myself. I didn't have anyone in the house that day. And I barely remember when I woke up, because I obviously I woke up, but I didn't know what was going on. So I went back to sleep instead of calling 911. And the following day, I woke up again. But when I did, I was very weak. So I had to call my sister. She took me to the hospital. I spent almost 15 days at the hospital. The doctor told me, well, you just need to thank whoever you pray to, because you were among the 2% of people that survives when they're by themselves and they have that episode. Mm. So, well, I just, it was very life-changing. I have a family, I have children, and I said, well, I just need to take, to make a decision here for my health. And it's unfortunate that we need to pass through those episodes to make these decisions. Mm. So, well, that was 2019. I started to, as a hobby, to develop scents and to mix scents. Then my oldest daughter, she loves candles. So.
But how did that start? Like, how did you, like, one morning decide, I love scents, let me play with that? Or how was it? Just a feeling? Was it an old habit that came back? Like, how did that come about?
Well, honestly, I started to read about ways to release or to ease the stress. Mm. And one of the things I learned was about the aromatherapy. And I love scents. I love perfumes. Mm. Okay? Forever. I have loved perfumes. So I said, well, aromatherapy, I like that. Let me go deeper into it. Okay? Mm. At that time, I had a project that I didn't tell you. At that time, I had a project in Costa Rica. Mm. Okay? And in my travels during that year, I learned about the place there in Costa Rica where there were like one of the most natural oil scents producers, there of the region. It was there in Costa Rica. Mm. So I went there, I visited them, and it was fascinating. It was fascinating, really. So from there, I started, like to mix. I took a class there. Mm. It was very, very nice. It was very good. And it was the first time in my life that I was in touch with something else than the corporate world. Mm. Because I wasn't even going to bazaars as a client, to buy things. Mm. So it was very eye-opening. It was something different. I just felt very related to it. In my work, I was very creative because of what I did. Mm. Okay? But this was another type of creativity that really I liked more. Mm. Okay, it was actually the first time in my life I had a feminine work. Mm. So I felt very much connected to it. And then after that, my daughter, like I told you, my oldest daughter, she loves candles. So I started to research on that too. And I found out that the candles, just regular candles, are very toxic. Mm. So, of course, I went deeper into it and I found about, I found this soy waxes or natural waxes, that you could also have a very nice candle with natural, scents, even better than the traditional one. That, like the smell, and you can even use it in your body. So I started to do it in my house, like to give it as a gift for my friends, for my family.
You started making them at home.
Yes.
Like mixing the soy wax with fragrances.
Yes.
Just creating candles.
Just creating candles. Just creating candles. So I was having fun buying, the vases, like nicest and very nice.
You're playing.
Yeah, I was doing it, as a hobby because I was still working as an attorney.
Oh, you were still working as an attorney?
Yes. I just started as a hobby just to ease my stress. Okay.
So after you got better, after your surgery and all, you went back to being an attorney?
Yes, I did. I mean, I like I told you, I didn't know how to do anything else.
Right.
That was the only thing I was doing. So then 2020 came and, our minds changed. It was collective. It was everyone. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to make this. I mean, I structure companies and businesses to other people. I'm just going to do this and structure this as a business.
So is that that's the type of attorney you were?
Yeah, corporate.
Corporate attorney. Okay.
Corporate and immigration, but corporate. So I said, well, I'm just going to structure this as a company. I'm going to start it on the side. So in 2020, I created KANA. It's called KANA Artisan. And
why did you name it KANA?
KANA. My name is Naima Mustafa. My grandfather was born in Palestine, in the city of Canaan. Okay? So it's a way to honor him. Honor my ancestors. And I thought it was a nice name with a beautiful meaning. Okay, and it's light, it's enlightenment, it's candles. So then I was, during the pandemic, my last travel was to Costa Rica. So I had to stay there for over 6 months. I couldn't go out of the country. Oh,
you stayed in Costa Rica for 6 months. That's not a bad place to be stuck at.
Oh, yes. Yes, exactly. So, and nothing is, everything is perfect, I think. No? I think if I wouldn't stay there for those 6 months, probably I wouldn't make the decision that fast of doing something else.
It kind of like, it just worked out, right? Like, I don't believe in coincidences.
Me either.
I believe everything is orchestrated.
Correct.
By a higher power. And the universe helped you stay there and create what you're supposed to create.
Absolutely. That's me too. Me too. So I found there a distributor of little cans, like small cans. And I started to make candles and to offer it to people that sells flowers. So they were buying it like in small quantities. And then I went on Monday and then I passed by again on Thursday and they had sold it because no one knew about the soy wax. there in that area. Then I went to another place and did the same thing, So just testing the market. And everyone loved it. And I said, well, yeah, I'm just going to, to do a little bit more and different colors. So I had, I just started to do it. Then it came the day I had to go back to Miami.
6 months later.
6 months later. But during that time, there were 2 businesses that just kept selling my products.
And when you were in Costa Rica and you got quote unquote stuck, were you there by yourself?
I was by myself. There. Yeah,
and
because they closed the border.
And did you make friends? Would you spend a lot of time meditating, looking within, doing inner work?
Yeah, I met I made friends there.
Mm-hmm.
I was working, like I told you. I had a project there, but I wasn't staying all the time. I was going every week or every 2 weeks and then coming back to Miami. So I stayed for the 6 months. It was a very great experience. I got to know a lot of people and the greatness of that country. Because that country, that they don't even have an army. They don't have army. They don't have, they're very green. They use aeolic energy for great part of the country of their electricity and water and everything. So things that I even didn't know.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. So it helped me also to realize, like we just said, that there are no coincidences. So the fragrances, the essential oils, the soy wax I could find there, they were organic, very natural, like spectacular. Spectacular.
They say Costa Rica is a very kind of like healing energy type of place.
Yes. And I believe it's because of that. They have never had any war in their lives, not even for independence. They were part of Guatemala, and the independence war was in Guatemala. So they received by letter that they were free.
Just how? Without even asking for it? Didn't even fight for it?
They didn't even fight because they were just part, like a small country, part of the big Guatemala. So the big war was in Guatemala.
Oh.
And they just received days after, like a correspondence saying, okay, we won the war, you're free too.
Oh, wow.
So it has a very pure and clean energy. They don't have an army. They have never had a war.
They're very peaceful.
Very much. The vibe there, it's unbelievable.
Which area, which part of Costa Rica were you?
I was in Escazú, in San Jose. But the country is not big. It's not very big. You can go from one extreme to the other in 9 hours. It's not very big. But even though it's beautiful because you have the mountains and the wild with the sea. So you have the Atlantic Sea, the Caribbean part, and the Pacific also. On the other side of the country.
It is a very lush country. The jungles, the greenery, it's beautiful. It's incredible.
It's beautiful, but the country is very small. It's very, very small. Yeah. There are only 5 million people.
Oh, really? That's
it? In the whole country.
Wow.
Yeah. So that also, I feel fortunate to have had that experience and that opportunity, because it also helped me to make the decision. It's when you are in an environment that is that clean, that green, you feel how can I say that, inspired by it, and then you make decisions easier. Okay,
it's almost as if, because you touch something, like it wakes something up in you, and you're like, oh, this is good. I do want to live this way. I do want to feel this way.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be the way I've been, or that I've been used to all these years.
Yeah.
Right. You touch something new.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think everyone, like in 2020, we got somehow touched. But in my case, it was like even more because of the place I was. Maybe if I were in my house, or if I were in the city where in Miami, that it's a very diverse and big, and it was my everyday place. Yes, I would have done it, but not the way I did it, because I was there. I was in a place like that, with that vibe.
What do you think? Can you put words into like what you felt, or what got woken up in you?
I really, honestly, at the beginning, I said, well, I had wasted my time. Honestly. Because yes, I was productive. I was, successful in my profession. I had my children, but I wasn't healthy. And I think that health and peace of mind is the truly success of anyone. Peace of mind and health. And I didn't have any of those. I had something that anyone could have. Anyone that it has discipline, and it's constant, could have material things, and it could be successful in their profession. But I didn't have a peace of mind. I was, well, that's why I got the ulcer.
Right.
How
do you, because I know what you're saying. You're saying like anyone who just follows the system or follows this path of like, you're born, you go to school for all these years, and then you go to college, you find a job from that degree, you just keep going to that job 9 to 6, you make the money, you buy the house, which is, nothing is wrong with that.
No, that's perfect. Yeah.
It's just, if it's just very robotic like that,
correct,
without any inner connection, then there's that peace of mind that is missing. When you say peace of mind, like, what does that mean to you?
For me, peace of mind is like just doing my purpose, just setting a purpose. For example, with the line of candles I made, what's my purpose with it? To help people to connect themselves with their wellness. Okay? That they don't have to pass through what I did to change the way of living. You don't have to change your profession. You don't have to change your everyday life just because you are stressed out or because you are not in touch with your wellness. So what's my purpose? My purpose is to people to realize that everything else is a consequence of it. The productivity I will have, the money that KANA is gonna receive because of the sales of the products. But I don't think about it. Okay? I just work on my purpose. Everything else will be a consequence of it.
A byproduct of it.
Correct. Of course, we need to be organized. We need to structure. We need to have it in black and white because it's good. It's not bad to be productive. However, it's just seeing it backwards. It's not doing it because I'm gonna be a millionaire with this. It's doing it because I want people to get well. People just to be in touch with their wellness. So if I center myself in that, I will get the other things. And that for me is peace of mind.
Peace of mind as in I am connected to my purpose and I'm being with that and I'm producing from that place. Whatever it is that you're producing, right?
Whatever.
Even as an attorney, right? Like if you're doing it from a place of being connected to your purpose, then you're being the attorney that you want to be.
Correct.
Right? Instead of like, I'm being an attorney, whatever, because I was told or because that's what I need to do or, not from.
Or right. Because I need to have 10 retainers this month. Okay? It's different. If I do it because I want to help these people, I won't have 10, I will have 20 retainers during the month. I just want to help people. I just want to help them with their problems. So it's seeing it as an attorney. Okay? I don't know if I...
No, it totally makes sense. How did you come to that realization?
Honestly, after I had my episode, when I saw myself, or afterwards, when I saw myself like, okay, I could have been dead by now. What am I doing with my life? What am I doing? It's something, I heard before. I heard people that pass through something like a health episode or an illness, like a very hard illness. And I heard them saying that you need to pass through these things to make your mind change or your way of thinking. And honestly, I thought it was marketing. I thought it was marketing.
What are they marketing though?
I don't know. I was like, nah, that's not true. I mean, no one could change their mind just because of that. And sometimes things happen to you just to realize that it's not marketing. It's really, it's really a life changing. When you see yourself that, you die and that's it. I mean, life goes on for everyone. The world continues. And you didn't do anything like to leave a mark on this planet besides your own family, maybe your kids, or for your parents or for your partner, but nothing like big or general. That's sad. It's bad. You think like, oh my God, what did I do? I just center myself in myself and my little group. but I didn't do anything for the rest. So I don't know. That's what I thought. That's what I started to think, and I went to I started to read a lot about wellness, about mental health, about neuroscience. So it's very interesting with how easy we can be healthy. We can be, just have a daily routine, but with a different approach and doing small things, such as listening to soft music for 10 minutes or having lavender in your car, while you're driving. Things like small things that can change the way of life, can even avoid fight, with a friend, with your partner, or even with your children.
The self-care doesn't have to be this hard, crazy thing that you do every day. You don't have to sit in meditation for an hour.
Correct.
You could do 10 minutes. You could do 5 minutes. You could take a bath. You can go for a walk. You could put lavender in the car. Just the small little things that you do every day that add up to your well-being, but keep you centered and happy.
Yes, and no, sometimes we complicate ourselves and things, like very simple things, because we are not well. We are not mentally well. We're stressed out, and you need to explode somewhere. And usually it's the weakest link. So this little self-care, these little things makes a difference. It make a difference.
What do you mean by the weakest link?
It could be your child, for example. Okay, you're coming home very tired, and because of problems that sometimes are not even your problems but other people's problems, and then you have your head, and then your son or your daughter come, hey mom, I want to show you this. Oh, hey, hold on, and you scream at him or her, and then afterwards maybe you say sorry, but you had already screamed to him or her.
Yeah, the damage is done.
It's done. So maybe if you put that lavender before getting home, you will get home in a different mood.
Yeah.
With a different approach.
Yeah. Because it is our responsibility to take care of ourselves.
It is.
And regulate our nervous system and find ways that work for us, or ask for help, or simply say, I'm not well right now, I can't talk to you, or whatever the situation is. But it is things that we need to do for ourselves.
Absolutely.
There's a saying that goes, the best thing I can do is take care of me, and the best thing you can do is take care of you.
Very good. Yeah. That I like it. I'm gonna take note of it because it's true. I mean, it's true. And sometimes you just react, and you don't know why you are reacting like that, because your subconscious is also heavy. It's heavy. It's like you're taking things, taking and taking and taking, but you're not releasing it. You are not releasing them. Sometimes if you have a boss or someone, in a higher level in your company, and they treat you bad, and you don't talk or you don't react because you can be, fired. And it's the only salary you have to take to your house. But then, you have all this, and when you get home, or it could be in your house, or it could be with a friend, or even on the street. Sometimes you are like walking, and there are people that they're just mean, but it's not sometimes because they are mean. It's because they have all this, So yes, it's our responsibility to try. If you know that you're having a bad time in a place, that is going to affect you. Even if you don't think it affects you.
It's that self-expression too, right? Like the suppression of the self-expression. Like something hurts me, or I need to express something, but I'm too scared to say what's present for me. One, because maybe I'm making it wrong, or I think the other person is gonna make it wrong, or I don't know how to express it or communicate it without attacking the other person. So I just keep it to myself, and I don't tell you, and then you keep it to yourself and you don't tell me, and we kind of like dance around it, and then we'll explode on each other about something that has nothing to do with what's going on.
Correct.
And by now it's like layers and layers and layers of things that are bothering us, and we don't even know why we met each other anymore.
Yes, exactly.
Right? It's just a fear of expressing, and most issues are in our fear or inability to communicate authentically and vulnerably, to just say, hey, you said that and you probably didn't mean it this way, but it did hurt me, or this is what I want, this is what my needs are, or
it's true.
Yeah,
it's a chain. So the chain sometimes it gets stronger and stronger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and well, the result of it is horrible. It's horrible. So I believe that if yourself, if you put yourself on the first place, you can take care of everyone else. Because if you're good, your surroundings and the people that surrounds you, it's gonna be well.
It's however you taking care of yourself.
Yes,
is how you're gonna take care of others. Or
absolutely.
Like if I know that if my self-talk is kind, then I'm showing up as kind with other people. But if I'm being super critical of myself or highly judgmental, then I'm being the same way with other people. Basically, the way you're treating other people is how you're treating yourself. That just tells you how you're treating yourself. And sometimes, I was talking about this yesterday with a childhood friend of mine, around how like we just pick up whatever we hear, right, as children. That becomes our self-talk.
Yes.
And then later on, it takes a lot of awareness to pause and listen, hear the voice and what it's saying to us, and like, oh, wait a second, that's not even me. I just inherited that. I just picked it up, and now it's just ongoing in my head. But I can choose something else. I mean, it's subconscious and it takes reprogramming, but it can totally be done. It just takes some awareness.
Exactly. But it's true. Yeah. It's true. I mean, sometimes I have a brother and a sister, and sometimes I see my sister and she's acting exactly like my dad, for example, and she's not even aware of it. So I said, listen, you're like remember what my dad told us? And she's like, yeah, true. Yeah, it's true. She's like repeating sometimes. And that happens to me too, or my brother. And it's true. I mean, it's inherited. But honestly, if you are not well, I always say this. If you have a child, a baby, there is a baby, and you need to feed the baby. If you don't eat, if you're hungry while you're giving the food to the baby, maybe you will eat half of his food, and you're gonna give half of the plate to him. So both of you will be hungry by the end of the plate. But if you eat before feeding the baby, you will enjoy, that experience, to feed him or her, and he will be satisfied because he will eat the whole plate. So if you are good, and it's not selfishness, it's not to be selfish. I think it's doing it the right way, in my opinion. If you're well, you can take care of everything else.
Yeah, they say it on airplanes too, like put the oxygen mask on you first.
Correct.
Before a child.
Correct. Exactly. It's the same principle. It's the same principle. I mean, even if it's a child, or is an elder person, or is your friend or your partner, if you're well, you can understand better the other person.
Yeah.
Imagine if you are well and he or she is well also. This world will be perfect. Perfect.
Tell me about your transition into Naima 2.0. Yes.
That's another thing, yes.
When you had all these discoveries, right, about who you want to be and how it feels to be connected to your feminine and do things from a different place, a softer place, a purposeful place, and let everything fall into place for you. How is that transformation received by people around you who know you as, someone else, basically, right?
Yeah, well, at the beginning, it was very hard. Even from my family, they were like, "What? You're gonna make candles? That's what you're gonna do for a living?" So it was hard because there is a lot of judgment, around. But after, that was at the beginning. Now they're my fan. Yeah, now they're my fan, because it's difficult, first to make that decision, of life.
They're just worried about you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, and it's natural, because it's hard. It's sometimes when people love you, they put themselves in your shoes and they get scared, But no, that was at the beginning. And today, well, for example, my daughter, she wasn't living here in Miami. She was in Boston. She went to school in 2020. So she was coming, like for the holidays, and I was visiting her just for short periods of time. But now she finished school and she came to Miami to work,
She moved back. Yeah.
So she's seeing me like for the first time in my new role after 4 years. She told me the other day, she was like, "I can't believe, I mean, you are someone else. I can't believe you are doing this." Like doing a candle and wearing, the overall. And I am so proud of you. I felt very, very proud also for the first time of myself and of what I have done. Because the last thing usually that, in my case, that I see is myself and what I have done. And she made me realize just this year, just this year when she saw me, she was shocked. She was like, wow, Mom, what you're doing is amazing. You are someone else. I see you like more bright. She was happy. And yeah, my son, he was here with me and he saw all the metamorphoses and he was like, yeah, go ahead. He was like my supporter. Yeah. He was my supporter here. And but seeing her and listening to her telling that, it was very nice.
Yeah.
It was very nice. Yes. Yeah. And of course, my people that were my clients in the law firm, I have seen them and they're like, oh my God, yes, you're someone else. You're doing something completely different and they're all happy,
Yeah. It's
because
inspiring.
Of that. It's very much.
Yeah, in the beginning, it can be a bit of a shock to people because they don't know how to deal with this new you. Yeah. And they're also worried about you. And they're like, oh, are you going to be okay? What do you mean you're leaving this job? What do you mean you're not going to do this anymore? So there's a bit of a clash.
Of course.
Which is very normal.
Completely.
But then eventually, they see you happy and they get inspired actually.
Yes. And it's very nice to listen to that. When I made the decision, I consciously didn't think it was a brave decision. I just thought, well, I just need to make this decision because of my health and because of my family. But then, after time passes, I realized that, it was a big change. Well, imagine, since I was 16 until I was 48, I was in the corporate world.
From 16
years old, because I started the university in my country, in my home country, when I was 16. I graduated when I was 21. Then 5 years after, I came to the United States to do a master's. And that master's helped me or allowed me to take the bar in New York. So I mostly work for Latin America, for Latin American clients that wanted to invest here in the States. So it was very much, corporate and being in suit and, well, that.
Yeah.
You also were in the corporate world.
Yeah.
And now I'm very happy wearing my sneakers and my jeans and, having all these women surrounding me. And yes, I just needed to be in touch also with my feminine energy.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it very much.
Yeah, we can tell, you're loving life and you can tell like someone's facial expression, when they're relaxed in their nature, versus, that the forcing and the pushing through and it feels very different. And I think for me as a woman, it doesn't feel natural. It's exhausting. And it just, it takes away from my joy and liveliness, versus doing things much slower pace, following my own cycle, my monthly cycle, and respecting it and being in that wave, dancing with it, changes a lot.
Yeah, it does. I have learned so much in these 4 years, especially from the people that it's now surrounding me. You know, it's another energy, completely different, completely different. And I just invite people to explore, not to make these drastic decisions like I did. If they have to, well, do it. Just don't be afraid of it. But to explore other things, other areas of creativity, even as a hobby, or because sometimes you don't know that there are other things because you just don't explore. You just stay there where on your everyday routine, and you don't know anything else. You know, for me, honestly, this could have been a very, very good way if I discovered this 20 years ago, I would have done it as a hobby. I didn't just have to change, what I did, because I loved being an attorney. But this, for me, it's passion. And I didn't know. I just didn't know because I never explored.
Explore as in just try different things. You never know, you might like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Normally, when creativity things had to be done in my surroundings, like painting or I don't know, whatever. It's true. This is a true story. Everyone was saying, okay, everyone but Naima, because I wasn't like very handy. I didn't do anything, handy or with painting or and look what I ended up doing.
Creating.
Yeah.
And it's not that you just didn't explore there, you just didn't try it
and I was like, it's true. When something like that had to be done in my house, like, I don't know, they were doing the Christmas tree, okay? And my mom or my sister or any of my cousins, yeah, let's do it. Everyone but Naima, because she doesn't know to do anything like that. So also, I had in my mind, it was created in my mind that I didn't have any talent with my hands. It's true. It's true. And I just realized that because one of my cousins told me that. I had forgotten. And one of my cousins told me, remember that you were the only one that we said that you couldn't do anything and you weren't doing anything because you weren't handy, and look at you.
Wow.
And I had forgotten. So sometimes you block yourself. That's something else, but you block yourself, your mind, because of comments or because you grew up with those comments, and you just believe it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You believe it. And then because you believe it, you would never try it.
You will never try it.
Because you're like, I can't do it. I'm not made for this. Or I'm not that person who can do that.
Exactly. So that's why I invite people just to explore other things, even if they think they don't know, because this happened to me. It's real.
Yeah. Even better, like try that thing that deep down you believe you cannot do, because it might be your thing, and there's just a block that you have because you were told or whatever you believed at some point that you can't. So look for the thing that you believe you cannot do and try it
Exactly.
and see what happens.
Exactly.
Mm.
That's exactly that what I wanted to invite people to do.
Mm.
Because I wasn't the creative in the of the family. And look, I was the only one who ended up doing this and loving it.
Mm. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I want you to actually take the time to tell us about this awesome things,
course.
right? Because they're more than candles. I see them as experiences. Right?
Yes.
So they're different. Why don't you walk us through it?
Yes. There are 5 experiences. First of all, we make all this by hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are some artisans and me. We listen to frequencies. And while we listen to frequencies, also intertwined with some certain scents, makes you change your neuronal brain. You will release some neurotransmitters that will help you change your mood. Okay? This is being already used in hospitals for women in breast cancer, post-operatorium breast cancer, because they use some of these help them with pain, with anxiety, and regulates the main protein of our immune system. It's called interleukin 6. So scents and music together is very powerful. So what I came out was that based on these studies, we do that, we listen to some frequencies, and then we just look, this is this. I don't know if it's shown. This is all natural wood wig and everything. So we have a collaboration with Spotify. And here you will see a QR code with the playlist of the music we use while we made the product. So this becomes like a therapeutic tool. It's more than a candle. So you just turn on or light the candle, wait until you have the smell, and then open the app, the Spotify app, and you will scan it through there, and it will show the playlist we use while we made this. So we have 5 experiences for vitality, to give you a boost of energy, for relaxation, for another one that will help you concentrate, another for manifestation. It will help you to visualize,
And these are scents that you came up with.
Yes.
So you mixed them.
Yeah.
Created them.
Yeah.
Added the frequency.
Yes. And based on studies, neuroscience, and studies already made, for the mix of certain frequencies with certain scents. Okay. But the scents itself, I mix it. And there is no other tool, like therapeutic tool, like this. So it's been very helpful also for people in the spectrum, autism, which has paid off for me. All the the efforts, the studies, so it's been very grateful.
And you also you're working on a pod that you created.
Yes. It's like a capsule. It would be like a capsule where you can go in, and you will have the sound. Okay, like it's gonna be like a surround system. Then the smell and virtual reality. And you can spend there 10 to 15 minutes uh, just to have the experience itself, you know. I think, I had a prototype. I have a prototype until like this week. But in February, we're going to have like the final pod. Yeah, let's put it. Yeah, it would be like a capsule, like a cocoon.
And those will be used at airports, office spaces.
Yeah, hopefully it's gonna be in airports of big companies, big corporations that they normally give or are getting aware of wellness.
Yeah, what you and I could have used back in our days in the company.
Exactly. So, yeah, and in public spaces, where people just, hopefully, I imagine in the middle of Manhattan where all these people are just walking, and then one of the pods in the middle of Manhattan. And people would be able to go and have a pause of 10 minutes and then continue.
Isn't it incredible how environment plays such a big role on us, like what we smell, what we listen to, what we see, what we sense. It all creates a different reality within us.
Yes.
And the good news about that is we can create those environments to help us out. And I mean, eventually, I think you mentioned this last time, where we have everything it takes inside of us to create that, right? And also we live in a world where we can also use things outside of us to help us out.
Yeah. Honestly, like I told you before, we as humans, we are very powerful. And that's one of the things I have also discovered these past 4 years. We're very powerful. We just don't believe that we are that powerful. And we need to think that is a scent, or if the music, or if something else that heal us. But in reality, it's ourselves, it's our mind. Because if you truly believe, okay, yes, it helps you. But if you truly believe that some music or some scent will cure you of your illness, whatever it is, cancer, whatever, it would be healed. Because it's your mind. Our mind is very powerful. Very powerful. And you attract that. Call it faith, call it I don't know, let's talk about faith, or what we religious people say about faith. When you believe very strongly that God is going to help you, it does. It does. No one has seen God. No one has talked to God, like logically speaking. Okay? But we do believe it. We do believe that there is a higher energy that helps us. But also, since we are like Him, like in some of the religious books, it says that God created us as himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Yeah, it's our mind.
Mm.
Faith is our mind. So it's us with this higher energy that helps our healing. It's just my opinion.
Mm.
Okay? And it's like we're logic. We humans are logic. If I tell you that this box is white, you wouldn't believe it because you're seeing it that is black. It's not white. Okay? But if I tell you that here there is a box green, you maybe believe me. If you have faith and if you believe in illogic things, that illogic things it's the miracle.
Things we don't see. You don't have to see it to believe it. That's faith.
Correct. So if you have faith and if you believe in the illogic, that is the miracle, you would think that yes, there is a green box here.
Mm.
You know, and in your mind, and probably it will materialize.
Mm.
Because this is very deep and we're going into deep waters.
Mm.
But yeah, I think there is something more and beyond what we see here.
Mm.
Okay, and beyond our or what we think we are capable of.
Mm.
Okay, so yeah, I think these products, okay, yes, are based in neuroscience. Doctors are already recommending this as a complementary therapy. You always need to go, with the traditional medicine, which is, it's especially for this type of illnesses, like cancer and that. But besides, I also believe that, yes, it will help you, but also it will help your mind. What you think that this really is going to help you.
I think it might connect you. It might connect you to that part that you're talking about, that faith, right? Because once we use these are tools, right? Once we're able to kind of help the nervous system calm down, then it's easier to connect to faith, to God, and those parts of us that are not logic, right? Like when the mind's going too fast. So when it smells the way it smells, and when the music is soft and calm, and I receive different thoughts, right? I'm not just repeating the same things.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So you will connect with the divine. Okay, if you meditate, sometimes you can connect with something you don't know what is it. And there are people that have listening to voices. There are people that they see figures, they see colors, and actually it's connecting to yourself, to your internal self.
You told me, I think I was here on Monday, right?
Yes.
When you and I met. And then we talked about recording today.
Yeah.
And you said it's Friday the 13th. It's the Virgin Mary's Day.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you're Catholic. Right?
I am.
And then booking the studio didn't work out today, right? And I was like, I still gotta go. You know,
Yes.
we might not record. We're not gonna record, but I'm still gonna go in person and say,
True.
I'm sorry, let's do a different day, or let's just at least connect. But it still happened. We're here connected. I don't believe it was a coincidence. It's that guidance and that trust, and also that devotion and that commitment. I wanted to keep my word to you of doing this today, and it did happen.
Yeah.
I really wasn't coming here for this, but it worked out beautifully. And for me, that's believing and trusting and also sticking to your word. That creates things, right? Because we create with our word and what we say.
It's true. It's true, because you could have just called me.
Yeah.
You just got, listen, Naima, we can do it the following week, next week. But you came, and it happened.
Yeah. I'm a deep believer in, I set a time from 1 to 3 to do this thing with this person. This is what I gave my word to. So I'm going to go all the way for it. And then if it's supposed to happen, God would find a way for me. And if it doesn't happen after I take all the actions that I take, then God is just trying to redirect me somewhere else, which I'm okay with that as well.
No, but it's true. And look, it came out very perfect.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, and I forgot about the camera and everything.
The frog left.
Yes.
You did amazing. And, you shared so many incredible insights with us today. And I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
And you are such an inspiration. And I love that you're sticking to this. I've used one of these candles on Monday. You gave me one, and I took it home, and I listened to the playlist, and I turned it on, and it was a beautiful experience. Highly recommend it. So thank you for doing this. You are having an incredible impact.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for this space, for taking your time, to try the product, to helping me, to spread the word of this product, because I think, yes, I do believe it could help a lot of people.
Yeah, me too.
I think so.
Tell us where can people find the product? Where can they buy it?
Well, it could be if they are in Miami locally. Downtown Miami. Okay. It could be in my webpage, thekanastore.com. thekanastore.com.
And I just want to put this here. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Could be thekanastore.com. Basically, that's the web page, and we sell it online, or if it's locally in downtown Miami, on 1501 Biscayne Boulevard.
Like from
here,
buy from you directly.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And we said there are five different experiences.
Yeah, there are 5 different experiences. They could also go to our Instagram. That's KANA Living. And they can, there is a lot of information, and also on the website.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you would like to share with us today?
No, thank you very much, really. And I appreciate all this. Well, like I told you, I'm very shy to speak in public.
You forgot about the camera.
But yeah, and I forgot about the camera, but I already, I remember it now. And very nice, really, to meet you, and you are doing an excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching another incredible episode of the Sarra Show, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Let's take a moment to reflect on the power of purpose. Sefamar, a leader in assembling vehicles in Morocco, builds more than machines. They create the essential vehicles that move us forward, connecting people, building cities, and enabling progress. Just as their trucks and buses carry people and materials, bringing to life a vision of growth and development, we too are vehicles, carriers of ideas, dreams, and deeper truths. At the Sarra Show, we embrace what it means to be human and to serve a purpose beyond ourselves. When we surrender to that purpose, we unlock our true potential. Sefamar's vehicles connect communities. We, in turn, connect hearts and minds. Thank you for joining us in this shared journey of creation and connection. Together, we are all vehicles for something greater.